And across Oklahoma, we're experiencing beautiful spring-like weather, but the rest of the country is not quite as lucky as we are. The coasts of Oregon and California were drenched yesterday with heavy rains, causing both mudslides and flooding. Rivers in southwestern Oregon and northern California are dangerously high, chasing families from their homes. At the peak of yesterday's storm, 2,000 residents were without electricity.
That's terrible, and the East Coast is covered with snow. We are definitely lucky here in Oklahoma to have these warm temperatures and sunny skies.
Yes, and Mike Francis is in the Norman News Weather Center now to tell us if this record-breaking heat is here to stay.
Well, Jerry, I just took a look across the state right now, and temperatures are already in the mid-60s. Could this be possibly normal for December weather? Well, when we come back, I'll tell you all about that. Back to you guys for now.
Still ahead on Norman News, something for everyone at the Tribes Gallery in Norman, a show featuring Native American works by local artists.
And some special people enjoy a game of dribbling, passing, and shooting. The Special Olympics kicked off the first annual Winter Games this weekend in Norman. All this and more when we return.
Okay.
Where's dinner?
Well, I thought you'd be home a couple of hours ago, and I put everything away.
What is this? Pizza?
You had just called me. I would have known what...
Dinner ready is pizza.
Honey, please don't be so loud. Please don't... Let go of me!
Get in the kitchen!
No! That hurts.
Do you want to see what hurts? That's what hurts! That's what hurts!
Oh, please. Please.
For information, call 1-800-END-ABUSE.
This is not a drill.
Roger, have target in sight.
This is what we do.
Swimmer away.
Every day in the Coast Guard.
Roger.
Battling the elements to save lives is just one of the real missions we tackle.
Swimmer checking victim. Coming up.
Be part of the action in the Coast Guard. Call now toll free.
Adventure training in the Army National Guard. When we move fast. When we train hard. If you're up to the challenge, we'll make it worth your while. Call 1-800-GO-GUARD.
People think because I don't talk about politics, I don't care about it. I let my vote talk for me.
I've seen my candidates win. I've seen them lose. I vote, I say my piece.
I listen to a lot of big mouths every day. You know what? My vote speaks louder.
I can't always speak my mind at work, right? But in the voting booth, I can say anything I want.
Listen, that's what my vote says. That's pretty satisfying.
On election day, vote for your candidate, vote for your country, but most of all, vote for yourself.
This weekend, the YMCA hosted the Special Olympics.
This was the first annual Winter Olympics in Norman. Norman News visited the basketball games. Special Olympics kicked off their first annual Winter Sports Festival on Friday. Saturday's basketball game was just one of many events held. Director of Development for the Oklahoma Special Olympics, Paul Mabry, says the multi-event festival will help them get more publicity.
Volleyball, soccer, basketball, and unified bowling, they've been standalone events. We thought we could get a better response from volunteers, from media, from sponsors if we created a second multi-day, multi-event.
Special Olympic athletes come from each high school to form teams to compete with each other.
Exactly. They come from various high schools, middle schools, depending upon their age. There are adult teams that come from community workshop facilities, maybe a resident facility.
Chris Reynolds, coach of the Nakoma Park Falcons basketball team, says the game has other positive effects on the athletes besides just exercise.
They have to work together as a team, and they have to know how to get along and accept challenges, whether they be failures or successes, and helps them also build self-confidence and a relationship with their teacher. Vicky, the goal is not to let them inside the red line. Let them shoot from out here, okay? So you're gonna get your hands up and you're gonna not let me in, okay? And if I go around you, you go with me, okay? If the shot goes up, you gotta get a rebound. You understand? Okay. That's defense. Now we're gonna talk offense, okay? That's it. Good job. Rebound. There you go. Good job, Vicky. Janessa, come in for the rebound, okay? This is our goal that we're going to be shooting at, okay? That means we on defense down there, offense here, okay? All right, you got it? This is offense, that's defense. You understand me?
Are we home or yes?
It doesn't, I don't know. Wait till they score. All right, State. There you go. Good D. Good D. Megan, turn. Rebound! Rebound! Go. Fall back on offense. Go. Offense. Let's go. Pass the ball. Rebound! All right, good job. Good job. Good, you're doing fine. Pass the ball more, okay? Okay, defense. Defense. Go. Go. 20. Megan, come here. Come here. I want you to stay on 21. Stay on her all the time. Go. Go back to your spot. Go. Timeout. Rebound! Okay. Come here. Shh. Megan's doing what I told her, okay? Don't worry about it. It's okay, I told her to, okay? Calm down, relax. We're doing excellent, okay? It's 2-0, okay? No big deal, we can do this. You're doing excellent defense. She's gonna stay on 21 because that's her point guard. I want her to do that, okay? Don't worry about it. On offense, Michelle, you have to cut into the basket. James, you have to pass the ball as soon as you get up court. And get your man, 2-1, Megan. Rebound. All right. Don't let him shoot. Hands up. Rebound. Hands up. Okay, come on. Take some time off. Okay? All right. Take deep breaths. Sit up, James. I got to talk to you, okay? We're going to have to make some changes on offense or else we're not going to be able to win. Rebound! Hit offense! Throw the ball in. James! One play, make it a good one. Shoot! All right, go. Good job, Michelle. Okay, go. James! All right, come here. Y'all did an excellent job. Look at the scoreboard. Well, that's the first game. We got one more. It's a double elimination tournament, though. So it's good for them. They got to lose every once in a while. It builds character. It helps them to understand that, you know, in life sometimes you make mistakes, but you learn from them.
John DuPont will stand trial for the shooting of former Oklahoma wrestler David Schultz. A judge who found the millionaire murder defendant too delusional to stand trial 2 months ago declared him competent to take the stand yesterday. This comes after psychiatrists said heavy doses of drugs helped clear DuPont's head. The judge said DuPont is admittedly mentally ill, but now understands reality well enough to be tried in the shooting.
From oil paintings to bronze sculptures, Indian art highlights a myriad of colors. Norman News' Courtney Compton shows us a Norman gallery is showcasing Native American art.
We'll be hosting an art show through the month of December. The owner, Hannah Pate, encourages Norman residents to come and meet the artist personally.
The public can meet the artists and talk with them, ask questions, and the artists really love that because it's more like a one-on-one basis. They get to visit with them.
Here at the Tribes Gallery during the 4th annual holiday show Spirit Winds, artists will display work that ranges from $2 to over $20,000, like this piece right here.
Oil paintings, watercolors, collages, media, to sculptures, bronze sculptures to alabasters.
The event includes work by local featured artists who specialize in creating Indian art. Pate says her doors are open to help artists get promotion. The gallery is also the monthly meeting place for the American Indian Cultural Society. Pate's main concern is to help Indian artists in Oklahoma.
I'm not in it for the money. This is more like I get pleasure out of being in it, and it has a good feel about it. And I like to do that. So if it pays for itself, I'm happy.
Courtney Compton, Norman News.
Well, Jerry, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this nice weather stays through the weekend.
That's right. Mike Francis says he calls this unseasonably warm weather. Mike, what exactly do you call this?
Well, folks, I call this Indian summer. Basically what it means is that we've already had freezing temperatures, and now the temperatures have got up to where it's like springtime. So that's what Indian summer is. I'll show you exactly where we should be for this date. Right now we should be at 52 degrees, but we're already way above that. Our average low is 30 degrees. Record high set back in 1915 was 73 degrees, and I think we might come close, but we won't break it. Our record low set back in 1919 was 3 degrees, and your sunset this evening is going to be at 5:18. When we return, I'll have your entire forecast for the week and tell you how long this warm weather will last.
$1,200 for the band? Nobody even danced.
10 years ago, Jim Pratt only had a 60% chance of surviving his cancer.
$250 for the limo? Did you see a limo?
But thanks to 80 years of cancer research,
did you see how happy she was?
he now has more important things to worry about.
I wouldn't have missed it.
The American Cancer Society. We offer hope.
Maybe you have what it takes to be one of us. The few, the proud, the Marines.
I just figure win or lose. Win or lose. At least I know I put my 2 cents in.
Voting is a way for me to express my opinion. It's the one time that they have to listen to me.
Feel real good when I vote. Gives me a chance to speak my piece.
I pull that lever and I think that's my vote, and nobody can change it.
On Election Day, vote for your candidate, vote for your country, but most of all, vote for yourself.
It's just one vote, but it's my vote.
Well, Mike, is there any way possible that we're going to have snow for Christmas, or is it going to be like 80 degrees?
Well, if you take a look at the record books over the last 100 and so years, only 9% of the days have received snow. But the way things are looking right now, it's really, really warm, and so usually when you get a hot streak like this, it gets pretty cold. So cross our fingers we could have some snow, maybe. We'll go ahead and look outside right now at our Channel 48 studios. You can see those high clouds moving in. That means basically the temperature won't get as warm as we originally expected. We go ahead and take a look at our current conditions outside right now. The temperature is 67 degrees. Our relative humidity is at 47%. Barometric pressure is 29.72, and that's falling. And our winds are out of the south at 22, gusting all the way up to 26 miles per hour. We'll go ahead and take a look at our surface map right now. It'll tell you what's going on. We've got this large storm system off the west coast right now that is bringing rain to California. Once again, they've received so much rain out there, they're having heavy flooding where they had all those fires. There's really no brush to keep any of that mud from slipping, so they just are going to get mudslides. Right here we've got record warmth. Little small disturbances moving towards our area. That's what's bringing our high clouds. So temperatures today look pretty nice. For the Oklahoma region, our temperatures look this way. 72 for high temperature in Norman. I don't think we'll break that record since those high clouds are moving in. Our Hobart out at 72 degrees, Gage at 72, and Tulsa at 69 with McAllister at 70. Now for your lows this evening. 46 here in Norman with a 42 in Hobart, 40 up in Gage, 48 over in Tulsa, and a 54 in McAllister. It's very unseasonably warm for this time of year. So for your forecast for this afternoon, those high clouds will be moving in and will make it all the way up to 72 degrees. That's about 20 degrees above our normal. Southwest winds at 10 to 15 miles an hour. And tonight it's going to be a very mild evening, a low of 45 degrees. Beautiful weather outside. And your next 3 days look like this. 72 for a high tomorrow, with a high on Thursday of 71 degrees, and we'll be only in the 40s for lows. With a little disturbance moving in Friday, we might get down a little cooler, so things will cool down and it won't be so hot anymore.
Well, it seems like it was warmer in October, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I like the warm weather, so I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I won't complain either. All right.
won't complain
More
either.
news when we return.
Heart disease will kill 500,000 people this year. They won't be selected at random.
I'm out here every week talking to people about sex. My message is simple. If you're gonna have sex, a latex condom used consistently and correctly could help prevent the spread of HIV and other STDs. People out there gotta understand. That's why I'll go anywhere to talk about latex condoms. Even into your living room.
My older sister has really been depressed for weeks.
His wife died a year ago, and my brother's still not sleeping.
She cries all the time.
Now that my husband's not working, he feels worthless.
My friend lost her appetite.
He used to be so active, and now he won't even play cards.
Depression is not a normal part of aging. It's a serious illness. For free print information on helping an older person who's depressed, call 1-800-421-4211.
If you sometimes forget things, and it's happening more often, it's not necessarily your age. But it never hurts to be sure. There are people who can help. If you want to learn more about forgetfulness, we'll send you a free booklet. Call 1-800-438-4380. Don't forget.
Two former Ku Klux Klansmen plead guilty to federal charges. They had conspired to burn down a rural black church and labor camp last year. The two pleaded guilty yesterday to 4 counts stemming from the fires in Bloomville, South Carolina. In return for the guilty plea, prosecutors agreed to drop 16 other charges against the men.
The FBI is offering a $500,000 reward for identification on the voice of the 911 call from the Olympic Park before it was bombed in July. The FBI released a recording yesterday hoping to find a suspect. FBI Deputy Director Weldon Kennedy denies the investigators are at a dead end and says the agency has made much progress. The bombing killed 1 spectator and injured more than 100 others. A 1994 study on the Gulf War syndrome may need some revision. The scientist who led the study, discounting links between chemical weapons and illnesses, says the report should be revised in light of new evidence from the Pentagon. The scientist says the Pentagon never told him about the incident that exploded thousands of soldiers to nerve gas. Because of the new evidence, the scientist says there should be an intensified effort to determine whether low doses of nerve gas could cause illnesses such as those reported by Gulf War veterans. Keep it right here on Norman News. When we return, we'll introduce you to an evil dog-snatching villain.
Cruella de Vil is her name, and she made her big debut in Disney's original release of 101 Dalmatians. Today, her voice is replaced with actress Glenn Close, but her famed performance can't be forgotten.
It makes life safer to have rules.
Yeah, if you didn't have rules, someone would get hurt. Shouldn't make noise on the bus because sometimes the bus driver, he needs his ears to hear everything.
Like when you have to stop by the train tracks. Yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't stay too close to the curb, otherwise you could get flattened or something. You should walk at least 10 feet away from the bus so you can see the driver and the driver can see you. It's very cool to follow the rules.
This is Cody. Cody was born with PKU, an inherited disease that causes mental retardation. But using a test developed by a March of Dimes researcher, this disease can be identified shortly after birth. And through a special diet, the tragic effects of PKU can be avoided. Which is why Cody is the perfectly normal 4-year-old you see here.
Cody?
Please, join our campaign for healthier babies.
Every child has a mother, a father, a name. Every child has a language and something to say. Every child has a gift, a laugh, a dream. In our world, there are millions of children, and every child needs medicine, clean water, nutrition, education. UNICEF, the United Nations Children's Fund, because every child is our child.
Show Franny what you got.
Actress Betty Lou Gerson has showed audiences for over 60 years what she's got. Betty's famed role as the evil Cruella de Vil in the original Disney classic 101 Dalmatians is among her favorites. She started in radio in the early 1930s, and did you know, once upon a time that soft, graceful voice narrating Disney's Cinderella was in fact Betty. She says Cruella's character is not as villainous as perceived, rather she is wonderfully funny. So as youngsters meet Cruella for the first time in the new Disney release of this old favorite, many adults will remember Betty and how she made Cruella famous. I haven't been able to even see that movie yet.
I haven't gotten out to see it yet either, but it's definitely on my top 10 list of movies I must see before Christmas.
I heard it was very good, so it's also on my list too, I guess. All right, well, that's all the news we have for today.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.
Damon Fontenot has sports next.
Our planet's rainforests are burning. Every day, 96,000 acres of precious tropical rainforest are burned to the ground. A forest the size of a football field is burned every second. Less rainforest means less rain, less oxygen for all of us to breathe, and an even greater threat from the massive devastation of global warming. Rainforests occupy only 2% of the Earth's surface, yet these lush forests support over half our planet's wild plants and trees, half our world's wildlife, sources providing 1/4 of today's medicines, and 70% of the plants found to have anti-cancer properties, plus the keys to unlocking tomorrow's cures. When these rainforests go, gone forever are the rare plants, animals, and cultures that call them home. That's why this wanton destruction must stop now. It's time to stop the burning. It's time to stop the bulldozers, and that's why we need your help. Right now, you can join the National Arbor Day Foundation, the world's largest tree planting environmental organization, and support rainforest rescue to help stop the destruction, to protect the planet's threatened tropical rainforest. When you join, you will save 2,500 square feet of irreplaceable rainforest for the future of our planet and for future generations. Call toll-free to join. Your call will mean that the wildlife, plants, and people that abound there will not be lost forever. That you can do something positive to stop this senseless destruction. When you join, 2,500 square feet of tropical rainforest will be preserved in your name. While I've been talking, a forest the size of 20 city blocks went up in smoke. You better call now.
Hi, and welcome to Ion Sports. And why is it 70 degrees outside in December? Well, the University of Oklahoma women's basketball team wishes they were a little hotter right now. The team is on a 4-game slide after a 91-82 loss to SMU on Saturday night. But Coach Sherry Cole says the team is still learning how to play.
January and February, because we haven't completed teaching. There's so many things we've got left to put in even. I don't think you ever stop teaching, but there's so many things that we've got to put in yet. And we're not the same basketball team that we'll be in February. Hopefully we get to the point we want to be at, and we win enough games along the way that we can get a look. It's about getting better every single day.
And if you happen to be driving through Denton, Texas for some reason tonight, you might want to catch the women's team in action as they play North Texas. The women's team is now 1-4 after a 4-game slide, and North Texas 1-5, so the women should have a chance tonight as the Mammoth road trip continues. NHS basketball takes the court tonight in Norman as the varsity girls will face Ardmore at 6:15, and varsity boys will take the court sometime after there, around 7:45 hopefully, as they face Ardmore, which should be a pretty good test early in the season. And finally, NHS wrestling is going to Moore tonight, and they're going to try to get some pins and some points and everything else for the wrestlers. That's it for Ion Sports for today, and I'll see you again tomorrow.
Thank you.